Hi guys, we just started a video. I asked you to send in some stuff that would blow a kid's mind. Some of the stuff you sent in are random facts, paradoxes, or something that's normal for adults but kids couldn't relate to. Lily, are you ready?
Yeah.
Can we do that again without you picking your nose?
I wouldn't. I was going like,
When I was 14, when I got my first computer, basically everyone there was only one computer in a house. It was like this big. You couldn't really move it or lift it around. And look, this is the weirdest thing. If you were using the internet, nobody in the house could make a phone call.
what?
If you try to make a phone call, it would make this horrible noise. So if you picked up a phone when someone was on the internet, instead of being able to make a call, you would hear this sound. It sounds like a storm. I haven't heard that sound in about 10 years. It was so slow that if you clicked on one page, you would go off, make a cup of tea, come back, it still mightn't have been done. I remember the first thing I tried to download was a trailer for Super Mario. It was like 4 minutes. If you watch something on YouTube, you don't even notice it loads. Sometimes it might stop for a few seconds. How long do you think it took me to watch a video that was 4 minutes long?
2 days.
Pretty close, 14 hours. The internet bell. Oh yeah, that's another thing. You had to turn on the internet and turn it back off. Every minute you were on the phone on the internet, it cost money. So if you forgot to turn it off, it would you get a bill for like £500, which has happened. Lily, how old are you allowed to drink alcohol in America?
21.
Yes, good girl. How old are you allowed to drink alcohol in England?
18.
That's what most people think. It's younger. What age do you think it is?
16.
Younger.
14,
Younger.
12.
Younger.
10.
Younger.
9.
Younger.
8.
Younger.
7.
Younger.
6.
Younger.
5.
Yes. In England, you have to be 18 to drink alcohol at a pub. But drinking at home, yeah, 5 or over. Weirdly, a lot of English people don't know that. I think a lot of Americans are going to now move to England. Hey Lily, this is a question I generally don't know what you were going to say. I have no idea.
I'm so freaking shocked. Guess who can drink freaking alcohol?
I think this is going to be the first paradox Lily has ever done in her entire life. Do you know what a paradox is?
No.
A paradox is a statement that doesn't actually make any sense. And there's no answer. It just confuses your brain. Lily, okay, this is the most famous paradox. It is called the grandfather paradox. Based on that name alone, you probably don't recognize it. Lily, if you went back in time and hypothetically killed your granddad when he was very young, that means your mummy would have never been born, which means you would have never been born. But if you were never born, that means you couldn't go back in time and kill your granddad, which means you would be alive. But if you were alive, you could go back in time and kill him. But it means you wouldn't be born. And it just goes on and on like that forever and ever. Do you get it? No, I didn't think you would. So who killed Granddad? Couldn't be you. You were dead.
Nanny. Because she was alive.
Okay, most paradoxes you can't actually relate to them in real life, but this next one you can, and this is one of my favorite paradox. Lily, let's say this is called Theseus' ship. Let's say there is a ship. The ship is made of. Are you even listening to me?
I was actually listening at what the.
There's a ship. It's all made of wood. Let's say after a year, one of the pieces of wood breaks off. You take it off and you put on another piece of wood. Is it still the same ship?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Another piece of wood falls off. And another, and another, and another, and another. And eventually, all the wood is now different. There's no piece that was originally there. It's now all been changed by different pieces of wood. Is it still the same ship?
Yeah.
That's funny, Lily. Most people say no, but you say yes. But I would agree with you, because Lily, human beings are exactly the same. Every cell that you're made up of in your body gets replaced within 9 years. So Lily, all your skin cells, within like a couple of years, they'll be gone and replaced by brand new cells. So even though you will be you'll be made up of completely different cells. The weirdest one is your eyes. Your eyes, all the cells replaced within about 3 or 4 days. That means in 4 days' time, you will have cells in your eyes that at this moment do not exist.
How did you know that? And how did the world know that?
Scientists study cells. They just realize certain ones that the ones in your eyes just fade away very, very quickly. The ones in your liver last about 9 years, but it still is replaced. So in 9 years' time, all the cells that make up you will be gone and be replaced by new cells. Okay, this next one's very, very simple. It's one a lot of people really like. You know that thing when you listen to yourself on a sound recorder and you say, I don't sound like that? Yes, you do. You hear your voice differently because your ears and your mouth are too close to each other. If you want to hear yourself the way you actually sound, the way other people hear you, you simply do this. This is how I sound to other people. Hello, me. How are you, me? I'm well, me. What you do, Lily?
Hi.
Oh yeah, this is one somebody actually told me on YouTube to put this one in. Lily, what's the smallest thing in the universe?
Thread.
I mean, most people say atoms. It's not actually atoms, but there's stuff inside atoms. But it's just easier to say atoms. Otherwise, you just get into quantum mechanics. So every single thing is made of atoms. Everything. Here's the thing, though, Lily. If I do this, my fingers aren't actually touching.
Your atoms are touching?
No, atoms cannot touch each other. It's impossible. When an atom gets close to another atom, it shoots an electrical charge at it, and they just stay like this. So when you're sitting on a chair, technically you're actually levitating.
I feel like I'm touching.
That feeling that you feel is the electric charge. It's impossible for an atom to touch another one. So when I do this, they're literally not touching each other. Lily, can you watch this now and tell me if you notice something odd about this man?
华社和搜狗公司联合培育的 AI 合成主播，从今天起。
Lily, what would you do if I told you that man is actually not there? It's an AI, artificial intelligence. And that's common. They have them in China. They just have hologram AIs talking about the weather.
Oh. So, like, there could be one, like, walking around.
No, you can't touch them. You'll pass right through them.
Oh.
Sometimes when something's invented, it's not invented for the reason that we use it for now. Lily, you know slinkies that bounce around?
Yeah.
Do you know what they are actually invented for? What do you think they were invented for?
Hair?
To stabilize instruments on a submarine. I didn't even know that. Bubble wrap. What's bubble wrap used for?
What, now?
Yeah.
Popping.
No, we just like doing that. It's invented just to protect things so it doesn't break or shatter. But it was invented to serve as wallpaper.
That'd be fun.
Play-Doh.
Arc stuff.
That's a really good guess. To remove coal from wallpaper. Obviously, we use digital cameras now. Back in my day, we used celluloid. Celluloid was used for photographs. What was it meant to be used, or why was it invented?
For safari people.
Snooker balls. This is probably the stupidest one. Why was the chainsaw invented?
To chop down trees.
To help with childbirth. What kind of crazy doctor invented that?
What the frick?
Oh, Lily, the last thing I will say, because I love things when you say this to kids that they can't relate to anymore. Lily, this is what happens to you nowadays. Lily, look. You take a picture. I take a picture of you like this. It's there on my phone. I see it straight away in 1 second. This is what used to happen about 15 years ago. I would take a picture of you. I wouldn't even be able to see the photograph. So if it turned out badly, I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even be able to look at it unless I took 20 more pictures. I would then need to go to a shop in town, give them the camera, and then come back 3 days later to pick it up and then look at them. And in half of them, everyone's eyes would be completely red. Your thoughts?
Weed. That'll be a waste of time.
I was in college, so I used to do that like almost every 2 weeks. So I had to do that 26 times a year. You look like you're looking at a tiger.
What the crap?
I don't know whether to keep that in. This is really funny.
We might get demonetized.
But it would be worth it.
No, it won't. You remember PewDiePie? I'm friggin' shocked.